everyone, it's Laura. So today I'm doing a full face with Milani products. So the first thing I have is a face primer. It's the Prime Perfection face primer. And I just want to say something about the packaging. So when I picked it up in the store, lifted it up, it felt empty. So I held it up to the light and literally this is where it's filled to. I mean, it was pretty obvious that this felt really light and it's not filled all the way, and I thought maybe this one had been opened, but nope, it hadn't been opened, it was sealed. They were all like that. This was the only primer they had, so I got it anyway. So this primer is really thick and it kind of smells minty, like mentholy minty, which is kind of strange. I'm not super crazy about the scent. It does say it's a hydrating primer, which I do feel like it hydrates a little bit. It's winter, my skin's super dry, so I do like hydrating primers. So next I'm going to be using this concealer. This is the Retouch Erase Concealer. It had a sponge on the top. I took the sponge off. I tried using it with a sponge. It's doable, but the sponge was kind of firm and whatever, I don't care. I don't need it, I use brushes, but in a pinch it could work. I think this shade is a really good match for me. It is really good. It's in the shade Fair 01. Yeah, I like it. And for foundation, I have the Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. So this foundation is really thick. Not really thick, but thicker than a foundation that typically comes in a pump bottle like that. I do think this is a good match for me. So I have been really enjoying those. Next is this loose powder. This is in translucent light to medium. And I really like the packaging on this. It has kind of this churny thing, and it blocks the holes on the side, or you can unblock them and tap some out, turn it around, and you got your powder. I think that's great. You know, I'm not really a big fan of the puff things they usually put in there. I never use them, and then they just get dirty. I use them to cover the holes so it doesn't get everywhere, but I don't know. I kind of like this better. I've been really enjoying these base products together. I think they look really good on my skin. So next I'm going to use a bronzer. I didn't get a bronzer from Milani because I haven't been buying bronzers. I don't really care for them, so I'm just trying to use up what I have. And I'm going to be using this Milk Chocolate Soleil from Too Faced. So I have this flower-shaped blush from Milani. It's in the shade Tea Rose. So it's kind of like a neutrally pinky color. It's kind of powdery and it's very subtle, which I don't mind, you know? Not looking for the clown look. You know, it's there. Maybe just a hair more subtle than I would like, but that's okay. So yeah, I think that's okay. I really liked the Milani baked blushes. I do have two. I think they were in my favorites from last year, so I really like those. This flower one is okay. So I don't have a highlighter, so I'm just going to be using this Korres eyeshadow as a highlighter, which I've been doing recently. Again, I'm not crazy about highlighters, so I'm just kind of using what I have. Nothing really special has been going on here. We had a small Christmas. We both had to work, so in Japan they don't really celebrate Christmas, so they don't have the day off. So we just had a small Christmas, just the two of us. That's okay. So next I'm going to be using setting spray. This is the Make It Dewy setting spray. And I do not like the sprayer on this, which I'm not surprised. I don't usually like the sprayer on sprayers. That's why I always put it in that Tatcha bottle, because I really like the sprayer on that. But, I mean, like the center is like really concentrated, so I don't feel like it really evenly disperses very well. As for the product itself, I think it's okay. I think it does make the makeup look good. I was reading the ingredients on the back and I noticed that there is perfume in this. So I don't really know if that's a good thing. To me, it sounds like it's probably not a good thing to be spraying perfume on your face. Anyway, for eyebrows, I have the Stay Put brow pencil, and I have it in the shade Taupe. So this product is really creamy. So because it's so creamy, I feel like it comes out a little bit darker than like a taupe color. So it's a little dark for me. I really have not been having any luck with color matches with these pencils. I think I can make it work. It's okay. So for eyeshadow primer, I have the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. And I think this is a good primer. I think it's a little tackier than I'm used to, but I think it works well. For eyeshadows, I have this Pure Passion eyeshadow palette. And at first glance, I thought the color scheme was kind of neutral, but then it could go in more of like a pinky neutral direction. But actually, once you have the eyeshadows on the eyes, they kind of all just look neutral. Like this color looks pink in the pan, but actually it has kind of a copper shift. So these two kind of look exactly the same on the lid. They both look copper. The only shade I haven't used is this one. I'm going to use that today, so maybe we can get more of a pinky look with this one, but so far, not really. And this matte looks pink, but like it's really subtle and chalky kind of, so it doesn't really show up pink. This shade is a little bit hard to work with. It's kind of like hard to get on the brush, but once it's on the eye, it looks really nice. And then these three mattes down the bottom, they're a little bit tricky to blend, but once you have them on the eye, they do look pretty. So I've been happy with the looks that I've created with this palette. They just kind of all look similar, which is fine. I just think it's a little deceiving, that's all. But monochromatic palettes are kind of a trend these days. I think it's cool, so I'm not mad at it. I do like the palette. I'm going to start with this shade all over the lid and under the brow. This is Truth or Base. Okay, and then I'm going to take this pink matte color. It is Always Pink of Me, put that in the crease. I don't know if you can tell, but I don't really feel like it looks that pink. It looks more neutral. I don't know why. Oh well. Okay, so next let's take this shade in the corner, this Lust and Luminous shade, and we'll put that all over the lid. So this is the shade I said looks pink in the pan, but it kind of just comes across as a copper on the eye. Okay, and then we'll take this shade and put that on the outer corner. Okay, I'm just going to go back in with this brush and just blend a little bit in the crease. Okay, I do feel like this eye look maybe goes in a little bit more of a pinky direction because of this shade. It's more like a cranberry shade, so I think that's nice. So for eyeliner, I have this black liquid liner. It's the Eye Tech Extreme. It has a really long tip. It's a little stiff, so it's a little bit difficult to work with, but I do really like the product. Like, it stays in place all day and it looks really nice. For mascara, I did get the highly rated mascara, but I actually wound up having a really bad reaction to this. My eye got really swollen, so I will not be using that. Yeah, I've never had that happen before, so that was really strange. I'm just going to be using this Bare Minerals one. It's really a shame the mascara didn't work out for me because I've heard so many good things about it. I was really excited for it, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm going to go back to the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to take some of that matte pink shade and smudge that on the lower lash line. Okay, last but not least is lips. The Milani Amore Satin Matte Lipstick in the shade Plush. I actually really like this. The wand does get a little bit overloaded, so you kind of have to wipe it off. I really love the shade. Like, a neutral pink lip is like my favorite, so I really like the shade. It does have a bit of a dry down, but it doesn't dry all the way, so it's super comfortable on the lips. It does transfer a teeny bit if you drink something, but yeah, it's super comfortable. The only thing is, when it wears away, it doesn't wear away the most evenly or most flattering. Like, the edges kind of wear away first, but I feel like, I don't know, that usually happens with a lipstick that dries down, so whatever. I think it's super comfortable and pretty, so that's okay. So just a little recap. The things I really liked were the lipstick, the foundation, this concealer, the powder, the eyeshadow primer, the eyeliner, and I think that's it. And then things that I thought were just okay. I think the eyeshadow palette's okay. Like, I like it. It's not my absolute favorite. I'll continue to use it. The blush, I mean, I think maybe just this color is kind of subtle, but that's okay. I think the primer and the setting spray, they're okay. Yeah, I think really the only thing that didn't work for me was, of course, the mascara, because I had a reaction to it, but also I think the eyebrow pencil didn't really quite work for me. Like, it's just not a good color match. I mean, I think on camera it looks okay, but I don't know. In person it just looks, it's a little darker than I would like. I mean, I don't mind that it's creamy, but I don't know. I just don't think I have luck with pencils. Anyway, So that's everything. I'll see you next time. Bye!